Who was Jin Ichimaru? Before betraying Soul Society, Jin Ichimaru led the Gotei 13's 3rd Division with Sosuke Aizen and Kaname Tozen. Izuru Kira acted as his lieutenant. He previously held the positions of 3rd Seat of the 5th Division under Shinji Hirako and Lieutenant of the 5th Division under Sosuke Aizen. Jin's appearance is that of a young, skeletal-looking man who is tall, skinny, and has odd silver hair. He has very keen features. He rarely ever opens his eyes wide enough to see the bright sky blue color that fills them. Instead, he keeps them perpetually narrowed to slits. Occasionally, he will wipe his wide mocking smile off his face on rare occasions of irritation, surprise, confusion, or even melancholy. His attire had changed in Hueco Mundo since Aizen, Tozen, and he left Soul Society, as did that of Aizen and Tozen. He has changed from donning his typical Shinigami hakama to a long, white robe. It is possible to see his Zanpakutō hilt poking out from beneath the robe via the opening that extends to his waist. Later, Jin switches from the black Shinigami hakama to a white hakama similar to the Arankar. Jin wears his robe open in a little V shape from his waist down to his hips, then it is closed till the hem, which is roughly mid-calf in length. He conceals his hands in the broad bell sleeves of his robe. The underrobe, looks to have black edges or layers, as well as a black lining. His Zanpakutō is hidden by this attire. Jin is a very enigmatic man because it's hard to tell what he's thinking with his virtually perpetual smile, slitted eyes, and extensive use of sarcasm and mocking politeness. He doesn't seem the least bit surprised by his opponent's skills in battle, even when they appear to have an advantage. Few people were inclined to trust him even before it was discovered that he was a traitor because of the way he behaved and looked. Jin has frequently played with people's emotions for his entertainment, despite being fully aware of the impact he has on others. Both Wonder Weiss Margiela and Rukia Kuchiki have demonstrated a degree of fear of him. Rukia remarked to herself that she felt as though she were being suffocated by snakes whenever he spoke, even if he wasn't talking to her directly. Jin has a distinctive Kaito accent that is oblique but polite. Jin's sole apparent successful relationship was with Ranjaku, who she left Soul Society on terrible terms with after expressing real regret for hurting her sentiments. He worked assiduously to keep her safe from harm and committed his life to avenge Ranjaku after Aizen assaulted her because he cared so much about her well-being. Dried persimmons had been his favorite snack since he was a young boy. Jin would grow and plant a lot of persimmon trees close to the 3rd Division headquarters, then make the dried persimmons before giving them to other divisions. He started to loathe dried sweet potatoes after mistaking them for dry persimmons. While still a captain, Jin frequently went for walks in Siriitii in his spare time. Despite claiming to like people watching, it appears that he also relished looking around and looking for a chance to cause trouble with a helpless victim. Jin has shown himself to be quite perceptive, seeing through Sosuke Aizen's manipulative personality and into his emotions and feelings. Jin was correct in pointing out that Aizen was delighted by Ichigo and his friends' invasion of Las Noches and their victories there, which Aizen himself confirmed, and that Aizen was taken aback by Momo's appearance during the Battle of Fake Karakura Town. Before his history with the main timeline of Bleach, Jin discovered Ranjaku Matsumoto, a youngster herself, on the ground while she was a child and still resided in Rukongai. While informing her that she must have spiritual vitality if she could faint from hunger, he offered her some dried persimmon that he was carrying. Ranjaku understood that he must also possess spiritual vitality. After Jin gave Ranjaku his introduction, the latter remarked on the oddity of Jin's given name. That day is the origin of Jin and Ranjaku's passion for dried persimmon. After they met, Jin and Ranjaku began to live together. When Jin asked Ranjaku when her birthday was, she said that she didn't know because she never really kept track of the days until she met him. Jin then informed her that their first meeting will now serve as her birthday moving forward. While Jin and Ranjaku were still residing in Rukongai, they came into contact with Aizen. He was gathering firewood in a forest when he saw Aizen and 3 other Shinigami through a gap in the undergrowth. They were squatting on the ground before him. While watching them, he observed Aizen place a pink energy ball from one of the Shinigami in a glass with the Jayaku. Then it was revealed that Jin had earlier observed those 3 Shinigami leaving the vicinity of Ranjaku's collapse, carrying said orb of pink energy. Jin decided to assassinate Aizen after realizing that he had to be the leader. Most of the time, Jin would leave Ranjaku without telling her where he was going. During one such occurrence, Ranjiku discovered Jin with blood on his face and covered in a Shinigami shihakushi. He explained to Ranjiku that he had decided to become a Shinigami to alter the situation so Ranjiku wouldn't have to cry when it ended. Jin and Ranjiku both enrolled in the Shino Academy. Since that time, Jin has only appeared to genuinely care about Ranjiku. Jin received a seat in the 5th division after completing the academy in just 1 year around 110 years ago. Aizen came across Jin one night after Jin had killed the 3rd seat of the 5th division. Aizen commended Jin's efforts and inquired about the 3rd seat. Jin responded that the 3rd seat was useless. As soon as the 3rd seat of the 5th division became vacant, Aizen promptly handed it to Jin and hid the fact that Jin had murdered the seat. Jin is revealed to have been a part of Aizen's scheme and to have helped him hollow out high-ranking Shinigami 9 years later. He is there for the hollowification of the Captain Commander Yamamoto probe team. He listened in on the conversation between Aizen and Shinji Hirako. The appearance of Captains Kasuke Urahara and Tessai Tsukabashi didn't seem to surprise him. There was nothing more to do there, Aizen declared as he led his thugs away from the crime scene. Tessai used head number 88, Hiryogekizoku Shinten Reiho against them to stop them from fleeing, but Aizen successfully blocked it with Bakuto number 81, Dank, allowing them to escape. A while later, after Aizen was appointed captain of the 5th, Aizen revealed to Jin how to escape Kyoka Suigetsu's total hypnosis. Jin learned about it when he was still a young child. Later, Jin worked as Captain Sasuke, Aizen's lieutenant, in the 5th division. 3 Shinigami Academy recruits who were still alive and out on a field training exercise, Momo Hinamori, Izuru Kira, and Renji Abarai, were saved by Aizen and Jin from a pack of enormous hollows. Later, Kira would take Jin's place as the 3 RD Division's lieutenant. Byakuya Kochiki and Jin both eventually rose to the position of captain of their respective divisions, the 3rd Division and the 6th Division, respectively, less than 49 years ago. However, Jin has remained Aizen's devoted subordinate while leading his division as a captain. Aizen, Jin, and Sen visited Barragan Luzenbairn, the king of Hueco Mundo and lord of Las Noches, in secret at some point during their time as captains. Jin and Sen watched while Aizen and Barragan had a casual talk. Aizen then let go of his shuriken and showed Barragan how the other 2 captains had wiped out his army. Jin, along with Sen and Aizen, continued to undertake hollowification experiments while attempting to find Shinji Hirako's organization about 20 years before his defection, when he and Isshin Kurosaki were both captains. When Aizen inquired about their present development, he replied that there had been none. Jin noticed the captain leaving without authorization and said that this may indicate disaster as she watched a following struggle between Isshin and a hollow creature unfold on a monitor. Aizen dismissed his worry and asked for a deeper inspection. Later, when the other 3 had arrived at the scene of the conflict and were all donning Ryatsu concealing cloaks, Jin watched as Aizen killed Isshin. When Isshin discovered the hollow wasn't the one who sliced him, Jin notes it and asks Aizen if it was good to leave while he was still conscious and questioning what had happened.